Good morning, Spartans. Welcome back. It's your favorite Spartan news team.
Dude, you know what? My back kind of hurts.
From what?
From carrying this news team.
It's your Spartan news.
So welcome back. Before we get into talking about all the schedules and important, super duper important information, before we go any further, teachers, go ahead and hand out all those forms that you were given to your advisements.
And agendas. All right. All of this information is super important, and it's important that we get it exactly right. So I'm going to read from a script, even though we haven't set up the teleprompters yet. Okay. So Spartans, for this first week, we will hold advisement every day. We're talking about the schedule now. Every day from 8:20 to 9:25. Then the first and second period block from 9:25 to 11:10. The third and fourth period block from 11:15 to 12:55. That's going to be your lunch block.
Have some lunch.
Yep. The fifth and sixth period block from 1 to 2:40. And finally, seventh from 2:45 to 3:35 every day. Okay?
To go home.
That's right. And please
Please
go home. When you arrive, as you saw this morning, you're going to go straight to advisement. Don't get here before 7:35, please, since that's when the classroom's open.
Yeah.
Okay?
Don't come to school that early.
Also, LCCA folks, okay, you have a schedule as well. This is your bus schedule, 8:25, 10:05, and 12:50, depending on the class block that you're at LCCA. So this week, the plan is for Coach Wagner to release each class. The way the schedule is going to work, it's weird. We're trying to limit how many people are in the hallways.
Wait. So I thought the bells released us. That's what I thought.
That's what you get for thinking. But we want to make sure that we wait for Coach Wagner to come by, and he's going to knock on doors and tell you that you can go out. So it's going to be a little odd in the first few days. We're just trying some different things out. Speaking of Coach Wagner, here he is going through a few of the new guidelines that are being put in place here at West Hall.
Hello, Spartans. For those of you that do not know me, I'm Coach David Wagner. I'm the athletic director and one of the assistant principals here at West Hall High School. Wanted to just take the time to introduce myself. I know I won't get a chance to meet all of our new students, our incoming ninth graders like we normally would, just because of the orientation, and we're obviously doing things a little bit different this year. But I'm going to be covering some basic logistics with you. Face coverings, that's a huge topic. We are asking, Hall County Schools is asking that you do have on a face covering when social distancing is not obtainable, and that's going to be the majority of your day while you're at West Hall. Also, if you're coming in off a bus, those face coverings are going to be required, so you should have one with you. And you've got some options. You can go with your cloth mask. We do have some of these made. I know Ms. Perkle with our CTAE is going to have some available. You also are more than welcome to go with your basic surgical option. In line with face coverings, you can also go the route of a shield. You've got the one little handy shield that gives you kind of this Darth Vader-ish kind of sounding thing going on. And then also, this is one of my personal favorites as well. Okay, is a face shield that attaches to your ball cap. With that, we are not allowing bandanas, anything that would be deemed inappropriate, kind of the same thing in line with our dress codes. So please make sure that when you're selecting that, select something that's breathable, it's comfortable for you to wear, that you're going to be wearing, the majority of the day, obviously, when you're here at West Hall. If you have any other questions about face coverings, feel free to, shoot us an email here, and we'll definitely help you out with those. But, parents, please make sure that you're finding something that your children will be comfortable with while they're here with us in Sparta. Now, when you arrive on campus, things are going to be a little bit different. We're not going to be able to cover every single detail of what your day is going to look like, but we are going to cover a few of the basics. Every student, when you arrive on campus at West Hall High School in the morning, are going to come through the front doors. So upper parking lot, lower parking lot, and obviously those that are dropped off here in the bus lane, everyone's going to come through the front doors, okay, and we're going to do a quick temperature screen as you come in.
Morning, Coach.
Morning.
You're good to go.
Okay, come on in with me. Another change going into the fall semester is the front doors I'm currently standing at will not be open until 7:30. That also goes along with the cafeteria doors. Okay, so we are asking that everyone arrives after 7:30 in the morning. Okay, it's just one of those things, a little safety precaution that we're going to be following. So please begin to make some time in your morning schedule for this to happen. Now, after you enter the doors at 7:30, okay, or sometime thereafter before the beginning of the school day, you are welcome to come in to get your breakfast. Okay, breakfast will be grab and go. Essentially, you will grab your breakfast and you're going to go to whatever period starts the day for you. It could be advisement, it could be verse period or second period for the first couple of weeks of school. We are going to be starting off, it looks like potentially in advisement. You'll know this every day. So again, grab your breakfast, head on to that period, and that's where you'll have your breakfast and where you'll stay until the day officially begins. Once you enter into the heart of the building, okay, you're going to have access to a map, color-coded map with directional arrows. This is going to show you our traffic flow pattern. Mr. Reed is going to do some of that fancy magic stuff that he does on the computer to make it possible for you to have this digitally, and we'll also have some paper copies potentially available. And also help along you along the way. Okay, we're also going to have arrows on the floors that help. Okay, obviously they will not be pointing like this. We'll have them, affixed throughout the building, okay, to help that traffic flow begin to work. Okay, we do ask that you follow the arrows. It should minimize you crossing paths with other students and adults throughout your day. Okay, obviously throughout the day, our restrooms. Okay, we are going to ask that we have no more than 4 people in the restroom at a time. We are going to have our teachers kind of help monitor some of these things as well. We also are asking that you're moving from point A to point B. The bathrooms are going to be cleaned, okay, periodically throughout the day, probably a minimum of 6 times with an extreme deep sanitation going into the evening. But again, if you need to go to the restroom and you stick your head in there and you see that there's 4 people in there, kindly step back outside. Just that way we can maintain social distancing in these smaller areas. All right, another big thing here at West Hall is vending. We are still going to have our vending machines here. We are going to have a hand sanitizer station located right next to it. These are going to be turned off during class changes. They're going to be left on during classes, but off during class changes. Reason being is we can't have a huge group of people hanging out here anymore. Everything's going to be point A to point B, moving quickly to your next class, eliminating a lot of contact in the hallways. Okay, then teachers will be able to allow you to come out. If you hear that barking in the background, we have our celebrity Murph, our drug dog that's now going to be with Officer Marley this year. I know he's really excited. He wanted to chime in and say give y'all a little hello as well. When it comes time for lunch is going to obviously look a little bit different as well. Throughout the year, the plan is to be able to rotate some classes through and give everybody the opportunity to eat in the cafeteria. The majority of the school is going to start off eating in classrooms to start. Then once we kind of have a handle on our numbers and we know who all is going to be here and who's gone virtual, we still have some students that are undecided at this point, we'll have a better grasp of the solid number that we'll have. And then at that point, we can begin to allow more students into the cafeteria based on our capacity rules to have lunch. Okay, so for the time being, it's going to be more of a grab and go format as well. You're going to be coming through and heading back to your classroom with your teachers to eat there, just to eliminate that large crowd gathering in the cafeteria around lunchtime. For those of you that are able to come into the cafeteria, it's your designated day and you're going to eat lunch in here. You're going to notice on our cafeteria tables we have stickers that are located. These designate the separation that we're going to need between students while eating. Now, we have the entire cafeteria with all the tables still currently in it. So, just because somebody is sitting at one sticker, if another table is completely open, you're going to have the option to spread out. Because even at that, we're still, with our capacity that we're operating under, we're going to have more than enough room, aside from what you even see on the tables, to spread out even further from there. Another safety measure that you're going to see is we are covering up all of our water fountains. We're not going to be drinking freely from these. The front half of this one right here will be covered up to not have any access to this nozzle right here. Although the back section of these that you can fill your water bottles up, okay, they are going to be open. So please feel free to bring your own water bottles and refill them throughout the day as you see fit. This is a new one that's going to be in the gym. Okay, but again, these are other little measures that we're taking just to make sure that we're keeping Sparta safe. You're going to see hand sanitizer located throughout the building, okay? It's going to be in every single classroom. It's going to be in a lot of random locations, just to make sure that every time you need to clean your hands, if you don't have time to run over to the bathroom and wash them, you're going to have the opportunity to sanitize your hands as much as you feel like you need to do throughout the day. We want everyone to be as safe and feel as good as they can for when they return, here at West Hall High School. I hope everybody had a great day. At 3:35, all students are going to be required to leave campus. We're not going to be able to hang out. Staff will be off campus by 4 o'clock every day. We got to give our custodians time to make sure that they go through and have the opportunity to deep sanitize every single night before we bring students back in the next day.
Hey, good morning, Sparta, and welcome back. We're glad you're here. You're going to notice a ton of changes around Sparta the next couple of weeks, and they're all done to protect you and to protect our teachers and to make it so that we can all stay back in school for a while. So we're glad you're here, and I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. We can only stay here if we all work in a united way to make sure that that we keep it safe. So give your teachers some grace, if you will, because they're learning just like you are about all the new procedures, all the new things that we've got to do. And in return, I'm asking your teachers to give you some grace as well. So again, welcome back. We are so glad you're here. We're here to stay. One more thing. We've been talking about principle-driven and united for a couple of years now. We've got a lot of new rules in place in Sparta, things like wearing masks, things like washing hands and social distancing. Rules are great if they keep everybody safe. But rather than ask you to follow rules, I'm going to ask you to be principled. Principle's a lot bigger than rules ever will be. Principle takes into account everything. Rules take into account little bitty things. So while we've got rules, and yeah, we're going to follow them, it's about being principled. My principles, and I know yours are the same, are that I value us being here, I love being around y'all, and I want us to be able to stay here. So again, we're going to be united in this effort. We're going to be principled in the way that we act. And as always, go Spartans.
Hey everybody, this is Mr. Reed. Today we're going to talk about school bus safety. Now this is a requirement from the Georgia Department of Education. Every year we talk about being safe on the school bus. Strap in, it's going to be exhilarating, but this is super important information that you need to know for any time that you're on the bus. It could be a field trip, could be getting on or off the bus coming to or from school, and it could be a sporting event. So here we go. All right. Today we're going to talk about, at the bus stop, the school bus danger zone. We're talking about loading and unloading, how to cross the road if required, loading and unloading at school, riding the bus safely, emergency bus, school bus evacuation. Okay, important behaviors at the bus stop. You need to arrive 5 minutes before the bus is scheduled. Go back home for help if you miss the bus. Never walk to another stop. Never have your parent drive you to another stop. The bus driver won't know. Have all items in your book bag before leaving home. Okay, wait in a safe place 12 feet away from traffic, and do not cross before the bus comes. The bus driver has a way better view of traffic than you would being able to cross. Okay, at the bus stop, never speak to strangers. Respect the property of others. Don't vandalize anything. Keep your noise down while you're waiting. Stay away from the road, and no horseplay, pushing, or shoving while you're there. And form a single file line 12 feet away from the road. That's part of the safe zone. We're talking about the danger zone and the safe zone. Okay. Use no electronics while boarding. The main thing there is, headphones and your alert level. So we want to make sure that you're alert while you're standing at the bus stop, and just be aware of your surroundings. You're really close to a road. There, sometimes cars swerve and things like that. Just be aware of your surroundings at all times. All right. Now we're talking about the school bus danger zone. Here we go. 12 feet away from the bus on either side. That's the good, safe distance. Okay, the bus driver is going to pull up, and they're going to, give you directions on when to proceed and when it's safe to come to the bus. The most dangerous sections are right there in the front of the bus and at that right passenger side of the bus. So make sure you avoid those areas. Then you've got dangers from passing cars. Sometimes people don't follow, they're reckless. They don't follow those little stop signs that pop out on the side of a bus. So you need to be super duper careful anytime that you're around one of those. And, danger from passing cars going either direction. Okay? All right. As we said before, the danger zone is within 12 feet of the bus. you want to make sure that you stay outside of that area. Wait and look until the bus driver tells you it's okay. If a bus driver blows their horn, it means danger. Find safety. Find a safe spot to get into. All right, now we're talking about accessing the bus from across the street. So this is imperative that you watch the bus driver and you watch out for yourself by looking both ways before you cross the street. We've talked about that. We're all in high school. We should be able to take care of this. All right, stay 12 feet from the road. It's not just the bus. Stay 12 feet from the highway there. And look, wait, and then stop at the road. Look at where you're going to be going. Look both ways. Look at the bus driver. Then cross, and then you can load up on the bus. Okay? Segment 2, a blowing bus horn means danger. Look and find safety. Now we're talking about unloading from the bus. So you get to the steps there. You look both ways, like this young man is doing. Then you look, you walk across the street and out of the danger zone. Don't get off the bus and just stand there. Get off the bus, move to a safe area. Okay, once again, a blowing bus horn means danger. Look and find safety. This time you're getting off the bus and you're crossing the street, so this is super important. Get off the bus, again, get into a safe zone. Then pay attention to what the bus driver is telling you. They can see and you can't across that first area. So you're going to look, you're going to walk to in front of the bus, stop and wait. They're going to tell you to go. Now you're going to stop again, and the bus driver is going to tell you if it's okay to cross the rest of the way. Okay? And they're good. Look both ways, though. Make sure you're taking care of yourself there. Okay? All right, unloading at school. Important behaviors when unloading at school. Make sure no items get caught in the handrail or door. Okay? Exit the danger zone and get the bus driver's attention. Something left behind on the bus or something dropped near the bus. So what that means is if you drop something as you're getting on or off the bus, you need to tell the bus driver. But you got to get to a safe zone first before you get the bus driver's attention to let them know that something is dropped, okay? Or that you left something behind. So no object is more valuable than your life. Make sure you're getting yourself safe before you're telling them, about something that you've dropped. All right. More unloading at school. Remain seated until the bus is stopped and the door is open. Do not push or shove, but wait your turn to get off. Have all belongings inside your book bag. Use the handrail for safety and walk, don't run, straight towards the school. Stay away from the bus and full view of the driver. Keep walking until out of the danger zone, which is 12 feet away from the bus, as we described earlier. Never run between parked cars and buses. Walk directly inside the school. Do not wait for friends. Get out and into safety. Don't hang around right beside the bus until your buddy gets off. Okay. All right. Important behaviors when loading at school. Have all your belongings inside the book bag before leaving the classroom. You don't want to be fiddling around trying to, pack your book bag as you're climbing up on the bus, dropping stuff all over the place. That's how dropped happens. Dropped items are a danger. Never chase after a moving bus. Better to miss out and be safe. Okay. Walk slowly toward the bus. Never run. Walk straight towards the bus door. Be sure the bus driver can see you. Stay away from the front and rear bus tires and board the bus properly. Load in an orderly manner. If you get on the wrong bus by mistake, tell the bus driver. They have radios. They can contact the bus that you were supposed to be on. Okay. Use the handrail for safety. Don't stick your head out the bus like these young kids are doing. That's dangerous. Go directly to your seat. Never place head, arms, or any object out of the bus window. All right. Riding safely. Important behaviors when riding the bus. Sit the safe way, facing forward, back against the seat back, bottom against the seat bottom, fully within the seat space. Remain absolutely quiet at a railroad grade crossing. Follow the bus driver's directions the first time. So you need to be a little bit quiet so that the bus driver doesn't have to keep repeating themselves. Always go directly to your seat. When on the bus, remain seated. Always sit forward with your back against the seat. Tell the bus driver if someone is picking on you. Keep aisles and exits clear at all times. All right. Respect others and their property. Be quiet enough not to distract the driver. Don't eat, drink, or chew gum on the bus. Don't throw any objects. Don't stick any body part out of the bus window. And don't bring or use tobacco, drugs, or weapons on the bus because you know it's illegal. Let's see. Don't bring animals or glass objects on the bus. Don't use obscene gestures and or language. Don't use cell phones on the bus or when exiting. Okay. Never use electronic device or wear headphones, earbuds when exiting. Again, that's all about being alert. Only get off the bus at your stop. Keep the bus clean. All right, emergency evacuations. When might you need to evacuate a bus? During an accident, during a fire, an emergency where you need to leave the bus quickly. Okay, there are 3 ways to evacuate the bus: through the front door, through the rear door, the front and the rear door at the same time. Sometimes the front door is inaccessible and you can't. But if you're trying to get a lot of people off of a bus, you want to be able to use both of them at the same time. All right. Buses also have roof hatches and emergency windows. In all types of evacuation, listen to the bus driver's instructions. They're trained in these types of situations. Remain calm and remain quiet. Stay seated until it is your turn to leave. Unload, letting seats take turns. All right, so in all types of evacuations, leave your books, lunch boxes, and other belongings on the bus. Walk as you leave the bus. Don't run. Go 100 feet, which is 3 bus lengths, away from the bus. Remain in an orderly group. Wait for further instruction from the bus driver or student helper. How far should we wait off the road at your school bus stop? Oh, that's 12 feet. Okay. If you need to cross the road to get on the bus, where should you be standing when the bus driver gives the signal to cross? Still standing 12 feet from the road, outside the danger zone. For students crossing to board in the morning, where must you stop and look? I'm betting it's 12 feet from the bus. At the edge of the road, 12 feet from the bus. Okay. When unloading in the PM, what must you do before stepping off the bus? Look for moving cars on the right side. If you need to cross in the afternoon, where do you stop and wait for the driver to signal? At the end of the crossing gate. Center of the road. When you exit in the afternoon, how far should you go off the road before stopping? 12 feet. Why is it important for items to be in book bags before boarding in the morning or afternoon? Dropped items are a danger. What should you do if you drop something near the bus or leave something on the bus? Get out of the danger zone, get the driver's attention, and wait for instructions. This is from the Georgia Department of Education, Pupil Transport Division's Curriculum and Instruction Division. Georgia School Bus Drivers, thanks to Georgia School Bus Drivers for providing safe, efficient, and reliable transportation for Georgia students. One quick thing to add that we forgot to record earlier. Advisors, you have a yellow bus form. Any student that doesn't know the bus they need to ride, either to school or home, they need to put their information on that form, and you need to send that information as soon as you can to Lisa Young in the front office. Miss Lisa Young. Okay, so get that information out there.
Lots of information there.
Lots.
So we'll figure it out, ask questions when you need to.
We're going to get through it.
Yes, we will get through this. My girl Lisa Young will be selling parking permits on August 28th, this Friday.
That's this Friday.
More details are to come.
Yep. All right, the agenda is, you should have that in front of you now, is full of information that can help you be a better informed Spartan. Pages 6 through 16, there's important information regarding requirements needed to graduate. Pages 32 through 41, you're going to find behaviors that are going to result in disciplinary action. Okay? On page 6 and page 44, you're going to find the Hall, County, and then the West Hall dress code information. Club information can be found on pages 46 through 60. Get involved. Research shows that, what do they say the research shows? Students who are involved do better in school than those who are not engaged in activities. And that's accurate because, yeah. So pages that need to be signed by your parents and returned to your advisor the next time you are in school can be found on pages 62 through 66. I think there's only like 2 pages that actually need the signatures, but I need to read through all of that stuff. And
you take the form home, bring it back the next day. Just try your hardest.
Next day, because you're not going to be back the next day. Yep. Other forms that you need to also bring back are the following. You've got a student health form. You've got a green parent occupational survey, code of conduct, compulsory education notification. We also call those the attendance sheet. So some of your advisors are going to call that an attendance sheet. And then free and reduced lunch forms.
Good morning, Spartans. Hope you're having a good first day. It's so great to see all of you here on campus. Just wanted to remind you of a few differences this year. Schedule changes are going digital. So your advisement teacher will be giving you a link that you can request a schedule change. Due to limitations with course availability and the need to keep courses as small as possible due to COVID protocols, most requests to change electives, change periods, will not be granted. Schedules to change a lunch period with a friend or anything like that will not be granted. Examples of what type of schedule changes will take place are if you've scheduled for a same class twice, if you were scheduled for a class you already passed before, or if you need a specific class to graduate and it is not on your schedule. Your counselor will then email you and let you know that that course change has been made. That is how you will know if your course has been changed and your schedule is updated. Student information is a must during this time. We have to have your current email, your current phone number, and your current address so that we can get in touch with you at any time. The counselors are also sharing with you a tiny URL, and your advisement teacher can show you, and you must go on to that tiny URL and share your most updated information. We will do this several times throughout the year, but for today, those of you who are in the building, please take a moment to update your email, phone number, and address. Thanks so much.
Okay, let's talk about lunch. Favorite part of the day.
My favorite subject. All right, let's talk.
Great. These next 10 days are kind of weird. You're here every other day. On the days you're not here and you want to take home a lunch, you can do that. Fill out this form or see one of the folks in the cafeteria. You can get a meal at the end of the day for while you're at home. This is for anyone. Your account will be charged based on your free/reduced lunch status. More info about lunch. That guy Wagner that we talked about, he is going to release classes one by one for lunch in your 3rd or 4th period class. You have to wait for him to release your class.
You're going to eat sometime in the 3rd or 4th period block. We promise. We just got to figure out, there's only so many people that we can put in the lunchroom, and we want to make sure that we stagger those numbers to be safe.
Yep. So another thing I have a fondness of are Chromebooks. And instead of having Chromebooks,
You're Brooke.
I'm Brooke. Instead of having Chromebooks and computers housed in each classroom, this year, West Hall students will be issued their own Chromebook.
That's right.
They can carry them with them throughout the school day, take one home each evening. Students will need to bring their Chromebook with them every school day that you are here. So
we need a device. So if you aren't checking out a Chromebook, then you have to have a comparable or like a similar device, laptop, not a smartphone. That's not going to cut it. So make sure at the end of every night when you get your Chromebook that you charge it before you come to school. Your parents are going to need to be able to access the parent portal, Infinite Campus Parent Portal, and then that's where they can find the online version of the form. Now, your advisors right now in this very room have copies of the paper version of that document. And then if you get that signed and brought back in, then you'll be able to check one of those out. One other big thing, advisors, hopefully you're still listening to me. Please, 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 at the end of this video, get a head count of the people who may already have one of those forms filled out that they got earlier or have contacted their parent to get them to do that online form. Send that information, email that information to Rachel Lawley in the Learning Commons, and then she can go ahead and call them up and get it checked out today.
Social distancing, also called physical distancing, means keeping space between yourself and other people outside of your home. This includes staying at least 6 feet, or about 2 arms lengths, away from those around you. So what does 6 feet actually look like? Here's a good visual. 6 feet is about the length of 3 chairs side by side. Practicing social distancing is one of the best tools we have to avoid being exposed to germs and stopping the spread of germs.
So you guys just saw a lot of videos on social distancing, mask wearing, which is super important, and hand washing. Okay, so it's ultra important. The expectation is that every student, teacher, person, human being inside of West Hall High School wears a mask in the proper way when they cannot social distance 6 or more feet away from each other, right? That's the expectation. So there's a lot of info in this video that you just watched. And there's a lot of changes that are happening around here for good reason, for safety. So chances are it's going to change some more. We're learning. It's a fluid environment right now. We're trying to figure out how best to keep everybody safe and get through this. So what we're asking from you is flexibility, be able to adapt. And you know what? If you see your teacher needing some help, man, give them that help. Give them that grace. Allow a situation where we can all thrive. We can continue to be West Hall Best Hall.
Heyo.
So this can be, you can make this good or you can make this bad. I hope you choose good, because
As good as good.
it's the best. All right?
Fantastic.
Love you all. Go Spartans.
Go Spartans.